Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Jessie and I post new videos here on my channel every single week all about budgeting and lifestyle. So if you are into that sort of video, which I'm assuming you are since you clicked on this one, make sure that you subscribe. So today's video is going to be the cash envelope stuffing for the budget for the first week in the month of November. I did a very chatty video where I laid this budget out and told you guys exactly what we were planning on doing with all of our money for the week. A lot of the money is going to be pulled out in cash and used throughout the week, and so that's why we're here to do the cash envelope stuffing. I pull out cash for our cash envelopes, which are our sort of weekly expenses, our eating out money, our gas money, that sort of thing. For our sinking funds, I like to keep our savings in cash. I keep it in my safe here at home. I like doing that. It works for me. I know it's not everybody's thing, but that's what works for me. So I'm going to pull cash out of the bank for our sinking funds as well as our extra savings. So the way that I figure out how much cash I need and what denominations I need is by using the cash envelope breakdown from the Budget by Paycheck workbook from the Budget Mom. I list out all of the categories that I need cash for as well as their amounts, and then I just break it down by denomination so I can see what needs to come home from the bank for me to stuff my envelopes. So that's what we're going to be doing today. I'm going to list out the categories. We're going to start with our cash envelopes, and then our sinking funds and our extra savings, and we're going to go from there. So I'm going to start out by listing out the categories for cash. So under cash envelopes, I had my husband's spending money, my spending money, our gas, eating out, and miscellaneous. And it was $40 for each of those. So I'm just going to go ahead and put those numbers in. I am using my Parkoo erasable pen, which I love and highly recommend. Everything that I'm using in this video will be linked down below for you guys if you want to check it out. Next up was sinking funds here. So we're just going to transfer those categories. Sorry if I'm making you dizzy with all the flip-flop back and forth. So we have home insurance, which is $75. We have home maintenance, just $25. And if you want to hear about what all of these categories encompass or why I chose those amounts, you can check out that budget video, which I will put in a little card above for you guys to check out. It was yesterday's video. And lastly, birthdays, which is a new sinking fund for us. So I need to create that, which you guys will see. And that's going to be $50. Alright, so that is all of that. And then lastly, we have extra savings, which is $50. Alright, so now I need to pull in my calculator and add these totals up, which I could do if I could find my phone. Here it is. Alright. So we've got 40 plus 40 plus 40 plus 40 plus 40 plus 75 plus 25 plus 50 plus 50, $400 is what we're going to pull out of the bank. But if I just go to the bank and ask for $400, they're going to give me 4 $100 bills, and that's not going to break up really nicely into my envelopes here, so that's why we do the cash breakdown. So for my husband's spending, $40, we want 2 20s. And that's actually going to be the case for all of these cash envelopes. So my spending, 2 20s, gas, 2 20s, eating out, 2 20s, and miscellaneous, 2 20s. For home insurance, we're going to do $75. So for that, we're going to do a $50, a $20, and a $5. For home maintenance, we're going to do $25, so $25. Birthdays is going to get a $50. Extra savings is going to get a $50. And then we just go down and add them all up. So we got 2 5s, which is $10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12 20s, which is 240, I think. And then, oh, look it, I'm putting this in the wrong spot. This is why it's great to have an erasable pen, because I can just scrub that mistake out and it's like it never happened. 12 20s is 240. No 10s, no 1s. And 3 50s, which we all know is 150, and no 100s. So really quickly, let me just add those totals up and make sure that they add up to this 400. 10 plus 240 plus 150 is indeed 400. And so we need to just go to the bank, pull out these denominations. I'm going to write this down on a little sticky note. I do not know what happened to my cash teller sticky notes from the Budget Mom. I think my cat stole my stack of sticky notes. You guys, my cat, his name is Jax. He's the cutest thing in the world, but he is, he's a little thief. He steals everything. I am finding things all over the house that he's managed to pick up and relocate. So I think that's what happened to my sticky notes, because I cannot find them anywhere. I had 2 separate stacks and they are both missing. Oh, I have this. I do have a couple sticky notes. I don't know what happened to my big stack. I'm going to have to search the house and figure out what Jax did with it. So for now, I'm going to copy these numbers onto this little cash envelope sticky note. This is great. I purchased it from the Budget Mom's website and just had it shipped to my house. This is phenomenal because I can write in the totals that I need, take it to the bank, and just hand it to the teller, and she can reference it to pull out the cash that I need, and it's perfectly seamless, wonderful transaction. So we've got 2 5s for a total of $10, no 10s, 12 20s for a total of $240, and 3 50s for a total of $150, for a grand total of $400. So I'm going to take this guy to the bank and get the cash, and I'll be back to stuff my envelopes. Alright, you guys, so I have gone to my bank and pulled out all of the cash that I need. And I've pulled in my Conscious wallet, which is where I keep all of my cash envelopes. I also have my accordion folder where I keep all of my sinking funds off to the side here for when we get to that. And we're going to stuff these envelopes. So I'm going to set it up this way this time, I think. First, we're going to count and make sure we have $400 in the denominations that we need. So we need 2 5s, which we have here. These are very old 5s. So we'll stick that over here. Next, we needed 12 20s. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 20s. And lastly, we needed 3 50s, 1, 2, 3. Perfect. So we are all set then to stuff our cash envelopes. I will just get rid of this. We no longer need that. And let's get these envelopes open. So I have my Conscious wallet here. The company actually was kind enough to send this to me for a review. I've been using it and really enjoying it. It comes with the wallet as well as the cash envelopes. I believe you get 12 plastic cash envelopes. You also get some sheets that you can use to track your transactions on them. I really love this system. It's great for a beginner. I think this will be the last time though that I use these plastic envelopes. These are great for just getting started. They're not my favorite in terms of the designs on them. I kind of wish they were just plain colors. And also I'm not crazy about the opening from the top. It makes it a little bit more difficult to get the cash in and out. So I did purchase some envelopes from an Etsy shop called Life with Envelopes, or no, Life in Envelopes, and those are scheduled to be delivered in a couple of days. So I will be using them moving forward, provided that they work out and they actually fit in here. If I ordered the right stuff, you know. I do like these. I think they're fine for a beginner. I'm just ready for something new. So I do have the Conscious Wallet system linked down below for you guys. So I have all of my envelopes here, and we're just going to get started with the cash stuffing. So first thing on the list is my husband's spending, which we actually don't have an envelope for. This goes into his wallet. So I'm going to set aside $40 for him, which is 2 20s. So this I'm going to just set aside. He can put it in his wallet so that he has his spending money throughout the week. And I like to check them off as I go to make sure that I know that I've filled those envelopes. Next up we have my spending, which is also $40, 2 20s, and that is going to go right here in my personal envelope. And this money can be spent on absolutely anything that I want. Some people might call this an allowance. I don't like to call it an allowance because that makes me feel like, you know, a 12-year-old. It's just my spending money. That's what we call it. Personal money. However you want to go about it. See what I mean? This envelope is kind of hard to get the money all the way down in there sometimes. Not that I don't love the Conscious Wallet system, but it's just not my favorite thing. And it's hard to get these closed, so it's worked out fine. I still do highly recommend this system. Just not my favorite envelope design. So I'll be excited to try some new things. Alright, next up we have gas. So I'm just going to flip to my gas envelope and we're going to put $40 in there as well. All of my envelopes, by the way, started out empty as usual. I do not typically roll money over week to week. This gasoline money, though, if I don't use all of this money to fill my gas tank, will go into a sinking fund for a future week when I might need a little bit more gas money than what I typically budget. So that takes care of gas. Next we have eating out, which I gotta admit, I do love the design of this envelope with the little tacos and burgers. That's super cute. We're gonna do $40 for this as well. And lastly, for my cash envelopes, we have miscellaneous, which is also going to get $40. Pretty easy to remember when they're all the same, huh? So that one went right in, no problem. Sometimes they do. Like I said, it's not a bad design, it's just not my favorite. Alright, so that is it for my cash envelopes. The only other envelope I have in here is my 2-bank envelope. If at any time throughout the week I would like to spend in one of these cash categories, but I can't use cash for whatever reason, maybe the store isn't accepting cash, or maybe it's an online purchase, I then just take the money out of whichever envelope it is, put it in my 2-bank envelope to deposit it back into the bank to cover the transaction. So that's it for my Conscious Wallet. This is going to go back into my handbag. And we are going to focus now on my sinking funds. So I like to keep my sinking funds in this accordion folder. I got this from Amazon. This is linked down below. if it's still available. I know it goes in and out of stock. What I like about this is the flat bottom. I know I have said this in so many videos, but I love that it will stand up on its own. It's got plenty of tabs for each of my sinking funds. You guys know I have a lot of sinking funds, and it just works out really great. Behind each tab, which I have labeled with the name of the sinking fund, I just used my Dymo label maker to do that. Really easy. Each of my funds, like I said, has a tab that's labeled, and behind the tab is the sinking fund. So it is the fund, you know, the stack of cash, as well as a index card to keep track of the comings and goings of that fund. And that's how I do my sinking funds. I like to do it that way. Like I said, it's not for everyone, but this system works out great for me, and I really, really love it. So we are going to set this off to the side. So you guys won't really be able to see down in there, but there's really no reason to. I showed you what it looks like in there. And we're gonna start out with home insurance. So I just go through my little accordion folder here, like I said, and I find the home insurance category, and I pull out the fund and the card, and we update the fund. So currently, according to my little card here, I have $225 in my home insurance fund. We are going to add $75 today for a total of $300. So I just take a 50, a 20, and a 5, 50, 75. I add it to my fund here, and anytime that I add money or take money away from a fund, I count it. Helps prevent mistakes. So 50, oop, look, it's all out of order. Here we go, let's try that again. 100, 50, 100, 50, 200, 50, 70, 90, 95, 300. So $300 in that fund, easy peasy, everything adds up, so this just goes back behind the home insurance tab. Next up we have home maintenance. We're going to add $25 to home maintenance. So my home maintenance fund is currently at $75. We're adding 25 for a total of 100. So we're just going to add a 20 and a 5. And once again, we'll count it up. 50, 70, 90, 95, 100. I do have some little home projects that I'm wanting to do, so I'll be using this fund soon. I want to add a little bit more to it first, but I'm excited. All right. Next up is a new fund. I put a little asterisk there to remind myself that I need to create a little card and a little tab for this. It's birthdays. If you watched my the last week of October budget results video, you know that I went a little crazy spending money that I shouldn't have on stuff for my birthday. Had I had a birthday sinking fund, that would have been in the budget, but because I didn't, it was an unbudgeted expense. So I learned my lesson. I'm going to start saving for birthdays. So got my Dymo here. Oh no, I think my battery's dead. No, it isn't. There it goes. Okay. So we're just going to create a tab for birthdays. Print. This is just like the most inexpensive label maker that I could find on Amazon. It's nothing special, but it does the job. There we go. Birthdays. This is actually a smaller font than all of the other fonts in my accordion folder. If that's the sort of thing that bothers you, I apologize. Doesn't really bother me. And actually, I need to go through probably at the start of the year and create some new labels. As you can see, some of these are peeling off a little bit, and some of them are out of order in terms of alphabetical, so I need to redo all of these anyway. I'm just going to use this empty slot here, which again is not going to be in alphabetical order, but that's one that I was using for some monthly savings, but I haven't been saving money monthly, so I don't need that tab anymore. So birthdays has its own little tab now. I'm going to go into the back of my accordion folder and pull out an index card. I keep a whole stack of index cards in here for just this reason. And we're going to create my little card to keep track of the comings and goings in this account. So we are adding $50 for a total of $50. That's easy to count. There we go. So that'll go behind the birthdays tab. And that takes care of that. Lastly, I have my extra savings, which is kind of what that monthly savings used to be, but I don't keep it grouped by month anymore. I just keep it all in one account here. And we are adding $50 to this. It had 100, so at the end here it'll have 150, 50, 150. All right. That's going to go back behind the extra tab, which again is out of alphabetical order, which is why I need to redo all of these tabs. Take an afternoon and do that. It's not a lot of work. It's just something I haven't made time to do. And that is going to go back into my safe until I need to access it again. Alright you guys, so that is it for my cash envelope stuffing for the first paycheck in the month of November. If you enjoyed this video, I would love it if you would take a second and give it a thumbs up. That really helps out my channel. Make sure that you subscribe so that you never miss a video, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!